It's amazing how there's just not enough light, and then other times there's too much light. Like, are we kidding? Oh my. We're just gonna. There we go. Yay! Hey, everybody. Oh, look, I just got on here and my cushion's already coming off. Okay. Um, Alrighty. So welcome to Weird and Woo Woo, where I'm weird. We get a little woo woo. We're gonna be doing an energy check-in for the weekend. Um, Generally, that just means that we are looking at either something that's going to happen this weekend, something that Spirit wants to tell you about ahead of this weekend, either because something's going to kind of like initiate, but it won't be like a singular event, or there's something they want to bring to your attention and give you time to kind of like ponder over. It's just an energy that hovers over the weekend and a message that they kind of want to come through at this point in time. So there is a bit of a time frame with it. Um, Not too bad though. Okay, like not too bad in the sense of not it's not too restrictive. Okay. I am making a list and I will be putting out a video this weekend of predictions that I things that I'm getting in regards to events that might happen. I already did this on one of my lives. I keep when I tell you I had a list of predictions for the United States and things that would transpire with the deterioration of our country at the in January, and I have proof where I sent emails to people and outlined things, um, and all of them, every single one of them came true. So I might put that out. I might put proof out of what I was predicting. I don't want to be one of those that jumps on the leg. I am the be all end all. I am your messiah. I'm not a messiah, but I do seem to be hitting pretty accurately of how things are going to unfold, and that information might be beneficial for certain individuals. In fact, just about a week ago, I was talking with my son, my eldest. He's 22, giving him some kind of insight and told him certain things that I was concerned about that were going to happen this year and why he needed to make some changes. And I reiterated a couple of facts of like the questioning of birthright citizenship, and then also like citizens born abroad. To the point that I even sent him a copy of the email because that's the reason why I took steps to secure a passport. I predicted that passports would be the only method of proof of citizenship, um, and how that would change, and that the real IDs and things like that would not be sufficient enough. Birth certificates wouldn't be sufficient enough. Had to fight a little bit to get the passports for one of my children because the dad kept questioning it. Not questioning things anymore. Not questioning things anymore. But I highlighted the fact that any of us who were born abroad to citizens would start having our citizenry questioned and revoked, or an attempt to do that. And that seems to be the case. It's coming out in the news now. And so I literally just sent voice messages, like, those little voice notes and stuff like that, and highlighting that fact to my 22-year-old son. And within a week, it's coming out that that's another thing that's being challenged and trying to be addressed by the administration. So I feel like I no longer have to question whether or not I should give the information out. A lot of times, what I receive is these are the potentials, and the vast majority of them will come true. Not all of them. Again, we understand how timelines work. Some things are an inevitable, and certain things are variable. And so, as long as you are armed with the information, I think that that's what's important. Um, that you have access to, and you can do with as you please. Right? I'm utilizing the information that I get. Um, but I'm gonna do a separate video, one where it's pre-recorded and uploaded because it tends to reach more people that way. Because there's a lot, and there's several things. I mention my cousin frequently on here, and when we get on the phone and we talk about both the things that we're like, she gets certain things, I get certain things. There's even sometimes where she gets dreams and she's like, "I don't think that's anything," and I'm like, "That's something." And then I interpret, I'm like, and we together get a really detailed understanding of how things are gonna transpire. And so, I'm definitely gonna compile a list of the things that I am getting. I'll see if she would like me to also relay or anything like that, the things that she's getting that might be pertinent. Again, these are things that are that are on a larger scale that affect global and nationally. And again, it's not fear mongering. It is really just to be able to give individuals a heads up and allow you to do with the information what you want. So you can expect that this weekend. Um, okay. And so we are still on a healing journey with my son. He swelled up yesterday. He's not eating much and not hardly drinking. So we had to switch over to protein shakes. This child could have every kind of illness that ever came to man, and he's never bothered. But if it's something in his mouth, when I tell you, like he had silver caps put on his tooth, entire side of his face swelled up. I don't even understand it. So he is right now just so swollen, can't move, can't open his mouth. So, good, loving, healing energy. Today is supposed to be the peak, though. So, hopefully, by tomorrow, things are improving. But right now, he's on those little protein shake drinks just to make sure that he's getting his fluids and his calories because he can't eat. And he's looking at me like, this is miserable. And you all acted like it wasn't going to be that bad. I was like, you would be the anomaly child. You would be. Anyway, so that's the journey we're on. We're gonna delve in now to what's happening or what they want to give out for this weekend. Um, Lord have mercy. Can I just tell look at the static electricity in my hair. Okay, so uh anyway. All right, here's my spiel. You are a sovereign being of your life. You can determine if, how, when, where, why. Any of these messages might apply. My recommendation to you is to never send a relish. Make it fit. Okay. Okay. I do have my coffee. It is cold. I had a warm, good God. If it sticks to my face one more time. This is what happens. This is what I have to get a haircut so that my hair actually fits my fucking face. Because right now I look like I have like the most oblong face, and I really don't, y'all. But okay. I look like Herman Munster. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? This is why my hair is up all the time too. Because what the hell is going on with this daggone static bullshit? Let's see if I can. I look like a little girl with the ponytail, but whatever. Oh my god. Like, I want my long hair, but it keeps touching me. All right. I just heard before I glanced down. Everybody knows I've got this, right? It's the last to give. And I always have it right here because I feel like, it's a part of how I deliver my messages and everything. Um, but I heard it in my head and so I looked down at my thing and I'm like, I just heard somebody go, kind of thing. I'm trying to figure out if that's because of like a mishap or if it's like, so I'm hearing, shh, okay, these are cuss words. If you don't like this, you don't like colorful language, this is not where you need to be. It's like, shh. Um, Kind of giving like a realization of something and it's like something landing and you're like, oh, okay. Um, that's just what they keep giving me. They're not even giving me any scenarios. They're giving me that. Okay. I want me to go here. Madame Medora's fortune telling deck. We have the king, authority and diplomacy. February 27th might be significant for somebody. It might end up being an important date. It is a Friday. I do know that. A new relationship blossoms. This is the maiden. The maiden. The last one was the king. Locked doors can now be opened. Serendipity, bright new prospects are on the horizon. We have true love and fidelity. It's weird because I don't feel the energy of love, but that seems to be something here. So if we get through this and I feel like I'm not like things are not satiated for what needs to come out, we'll do a second reading for the weekend because this is taking me by a little bit by surprise. And maybe that's how it's going to be for you. The idea that locked doors can now be opened. Something that couldn't be accessed before can be now. The maiden. Bright new prospects are on the horizon. Some kind of serendipitous event is going to happen. All right, we're just gonna pull cards because I don't know where they want to go with this. Like that's just the biggest piece is like some serendipitous event. Bright new prospects are on the horizon. Another oracle. Sacred Traveler's Oracle. I saw the Solitude card. That might be the energy of somebody right now. Look at my little tweeter hairs. Look at my tweeter hairs. Look at this. My baby hairs coming in. We have a new moon. I don't know why they're just throwing out random shit. New moon on the 17th. Reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. Reaching your destination. Look, it's like this idea bubble right here. It's like there's this idolized or fantasy or fairy tale or it's just a daydream. It's it's not a realization just yet, but they're saying that you're going to reach your destination. That something that was like something is going to open up for you, some type of serendipitous event, and then flanking it again, a new relationship and love is on bookending this. It's like, is a relationship or love the destination that you're seeking? Success expands in your life. I feel like we're dancing. We're dancing around something, not getting to the point. I think they want all this out. Son of a biscuit. That's the one we're going to take. Okay. The fuck? Wise leader. Fellow travelers. Begin now. I'm not taking any of those. Gates of triumph, reaching your destination. If you're questioning if you're going to reach something, they're giving me the pinnacle, but like recently, like with Bridgerton, like the pinnacle is meaning something to me, and I'm like, I don't know if that means like, I'm like, are y'all giving me that because but you're gonna reach some kind of pinnacle. Lord have mercy, y'all. Can we get to the meat of this? Because what in the what? Like we're just dancing around right now. Discovering truth, joy and delight, protected by angels. I feel like something's insured. That's what that protected by angels is. We have you stand in the light of truth, and your light is shining brightly. This feels like transparency, authenticity, um, like no mask, just fully yourself. That seems somehow necessary to reaching your destination. There's nothing that's kind of like holding you back. I feel like it's guiding you. I hear, but I know this to be true. It just feels like not so much that you discover it, but that you own it. Does that make sense? Like you own the truth. Like you have this just this knowing, and you don't question it. You own it. I just saw a woodpecker fly up to the top of the tree. And because of that, it's kind of like it dictates how you maneuver and how you move. And so almost as if other things can't detract you from this, um or manipulate you to believe something different. There's no like pulling you off your path, pulling you away from this. I feel like you're standing pretty firm in something. And again, that's it's because of that that you're going to reach your destination. I feel like the only thing that could stop you from reaching where you're meant to be or where you're desiring to be is if you let something get into your head and kind of like convince you that what you know to be true isn't, and confuse you. Um, then we have open your heart to joy, and you are protected. Let me put this over here. Let's start pulling some tarot cards because I need some answers. Because what the fuck? Honest to God. It feels like I'm just giving one-off sentences and I'm like, all right, let's bring it together. What are we doing here? Why is it like this? First off, what is the frickin' what's the truth? What is the destination? That's what I want to know. Let's ask about the destination first. Like, what is this idolized or fantasy or imagination? Uh, um, it's like imagining something in the field of possibilities. So there's this visualization, like I can see it, but it's not in your reality yet. It's something that's not in your reality. And so, um, what is that? What is this so-called destination? Knight of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Solid, stable, genuine, sincere. This is like new life. Um, of course, lovers. Passion. You want a stable, secure, sincere, trustworthy, integral, passionate, primal love. That's the destination. What's the truth that you so know to be? Like you'll get exactly what you want. It's not a pie in the sky ideology or fantasy. You know you're going to get exactly what you want. Seven of Wands is knowing your worth, having self-confidence, self-love, self-respect, like being firmly seated in your power and your truth and not budging. It's the boundaries, it's the expectations, it's the this is what I deserve and this is what I'm going to get. It doesn't feel too fantastical. You know it's not too fantastical. You know you're going to get exactly what you're seeing, what you're wanting, what you're desiring. Um 3 of Pentacles is the work that it takes to come together. This feels like a coming together of individuals, of 2 people, and building a life together, okay? So that's you know that to be true. You know that to be true. And with the 3 of Pentacles, it feels like the 3rd energy, it's like 2 paths coming together to be one, but it's almost like, oh, being like, spirit's gonna help you with that. You know. Okay. What is the locked door that is now open? What is the locked door that is now opened? Clarify this one card. Feels a bit out of place. Like, I don't feel like you so the locked door is the fear that was the locked door. The fear that you wouldn't get this. Because we have the 5 of Wands, which is kind of like conflict and internal kind of like um chaos and things like that. 10 of Swords, like succumbing to the worst of it, thinking worst case scenario. And it's kind of like that was the locked door where you may have felt like with the 5 of Wands, you were kind of battling this and felt pulled in multiple directions. Like, yes, you should, but maybe I shouldn't do this. And maybe this is gonna happen. Maybe I should have to compromise for this. Like you're not doing that anymore. That was the locked door. That door is now unlocked and it's no longer an obstacle for you because you have such you're so assured that this is the truth, that this is what you'll get, and no matter like nobody could tell you otherwise. Nothing could tell you otherwise. You battled it enough that you came to a conclusion where you're like, "I'm surrendering to this because I know damn good and well I'm gonna have my 10 of cups." You used to fight the idea of what you had to do to get it, if it was even available, the way that you imagined it. Is it something that you're gonna be able to attain? Is it too fantastical? Is it too Disney? Is it too fairy tale? And you're just like, "No." Even if there's elements of what you're thinking that seem too grandiose or too fantastical, it feels so rooted and grounded within you that you're like, "No, this I'm actually gonna have that." I know how it sounds when I say it out loud, but I'm actually going to have that. And so therefore, something about it can come. Like some that lends to an event, a serendipitous event that can occur as a result. The Fool card. Tell me about this event. Tell me about this event. You don't know how, you don't know when, you don't know the details of it. 7 of Cups. You know that it could play out in a myriad of ways, but you're taking the leap of faith anyways. Fool. There's just something that's going to be it's almost like you're gonna initiate a path and assume that serendipitous events are gonna take you where you need to go. Like, lead you to where you need to go. Okay. Hence why it says bright new prospects, multiple, are on the horizon. And that's leading you to the true love and fidelity. Ace of Swords. You're armed with truth, with understanding, with clarity. Again, As long as you know this to be true, not understanding and knowing how, where, when, the route, like, it doesn't matter because you know beyond a shadow of a doubt this is happening, that you will get this, that you will reach your destination, that this is for you. Okay. Let's put this one up and pull from a different deck and see what it says. Um, Talk to us about how this weekend, the pertinence of this weekend to what's happening here. We shall see. What's the pertinence of this weekend to what you're describing right now? I mean, it is Valentine's Day in the US, but that doesn't feel like it has any pertinence to like it like I don't feel any energy around that. So 3 of Pentacles again. This is the idea of the power of creativity, recognition, team player, like coming together, working together, collaborating, building together. So what does this have to do with this weekend? 9 of Pentacles. Enjoying life, enjoying your personal time, indulging in certain things. Both of these do talk about material progress and material gain. I will say that. Knight of Pentacles. We're over here talking about love. And when I say what's this weekend got to do with the other goal, they're talking about work, career, like your creative endeavors, the things that you're building in your life. Like this is real world material things. Something about this weekend, there's real world material things that play into you believing that serendipity is going to take you to your destination. Like if you know that you're going to reach this pie in the sky idolization of some kind of relationship and it's beyond a shadow of a doubt and that spirit's going to take you, you don't worry about trying to figure out how to do that or come up with an action plan or anything else like that. And so it's kind of like you are leaving that to spirit, but we have and then the 4 of Pentacles, there's a lot of pentacles. Something within your life, something tangible is happening this weekend, is what I want to say. Again, 3 of Pentacles is some kind of like recognition. So you may catch somebody's eye. You may catch somebody's attention. Knight of Pentacles is loyal, dedicated, trustworthy, solid, secure, integral, authentic, transparent. Um, Always gives me a sense of like a Capricorn energy, even though I don't even think it's associated with this because there's this sense of consistency, follow through, trustworthiness. Like that's very much a Capricorn energy to me. It's about like buckling down and getting something done. All right, talk to me more about this because it feels like something. I don't want to say it's unrelated because it is related. obviously, something about this weekend within your reality plays a factor into maybe the serendipitous events. This might be the start to very serendipitous events that are about to unfold. But it seems something very material within your world. Justice and the Ace of Wands. Like a decision. There's a decision, something that balances out, something that, yeah, it is. What the fuck? On this card, it talks about career advancement, career opportunities. It says an exciting new endeavor that can change your life now. And this one says, do what you know is right, make the decision, like according to your beliefs. Maybe the idea of knowing that this is going to happen without you having to do the work. You just have to trust spirit to help guide you and get you there. That you just know it's going to happen no matter what. And so you are trusting as they are unfolding before you. And it seems like there's something work, career, creativity wise, because the Nine of Pentacles is like successful self employment. Um, and the Nine of Pentacles can be like something very trustworthy and stable that's on offer, right? So it's like an offer for work, is what it seems like. I don't want to narrow it down so bad, but an exciting new opportunity, career advancement. So something with um material gain, work, may play a factor in the overall energy of finding love. Am I getting this correctly? Damn, that was fast. Are you shitting me? Pentacle, 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 pentacle. It's the King of Pentacles. Again, four pentacles at the bottom. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. So there really is something this weekend that, in the grand scheme of things, is probably a part of some very serendipitous events that are happening as a result of you now just trusting and believing and unwaveringly saying, "Oh no, what I see and what I've envisioned will be mine." It's like you know it to be true. There's no, you know what I mean? And so as a result, gates open up. Gates open up. And so but the way in which something happens, it doesn't have the appearance of having any direct connection to love, but it's almost like the path that leads you there starts with this. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered, an exciting new endeavor, career advancement, being a team player, being hired. That's what the Three of Pentacles is. It's like commissioning somebody to do something. It's collaborating, cooperation, for something that you tend to do on your own. Nine of Pentacles. So you're doing something, and that's why they're showing getting with the Three of Pentacles like some kind of like acknowledgement, like somebody either witnesses or sees what you do, maybe for the first time, and as a result, you get some kind of like they connect with you. They want, you know what I mean? Like even if they've seen it before, like they finally see it for what it is. It very well may have something to do with your sense of justice. I'm also getting that. Like I feel like somebody speaks their mind, somebody speaks their truth. They have a very solid conviction. Because it talks about standing up for your beliefs and always wanting to lean in the way in the direction of justice. You may have something that you do surrounding social justice. Um, Judgment card. Like you will have to make a decision, but spirit is asking you to move in a new direction, to take this, to do this. You are willing to take leaps of faith despite not having any kind of certainty because you just know you're going to be taken where you're supposed to go. So it's almost as if it's like you have, without knowing exactly what it is, you said yes to your destiny, which is, I feel, is going to be something that you have an immense amount of love for. Your path, you will have a lot of love for, true love and fidelity, but also a relationship. You may have come to the conclusion like, I know that I'm going in a direction that I can't completely see right now. I know it's going to require me maybe to make alterations and to be in the flow. It could mean that I pivot paths and not do exactly what I'm doing right now, but I'm open to it. Like you've just said yes without having to have the plan put before you. And it's almost like they're like, and don't worry during this because you are protected as this unfolds. And we ask that you just, it's like open your heart to joy feels a lot like your inner child getting to kind of like sit in the front seat of this journey. And that would also go along with your light is shining. Card that says your light is shining. Okay. There may be some changes to plans. We have the Page of Swords. It is about communication. It can be a bit of like a change to certain types of plans. Um, we have the Six of Pentacles, but I feel like this communication is almost like having to do with Six of Pentacles is the resources, like you receiving something. Um, Again, we have somebody kind of like some level of opportunity being offered. You're meant to accept it. Um, with communication, it does feel like this is the kind of thing where it's not an opportunity where, oh, things just move out of your way and you have to kind of go. It does feel like there's some level of offer between the Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, the Page of Swords. And then we have the Four of Cups and the Sun. Let's talk about happy outcomes. So no matter what negative anything that shows up, the Sun card is going to reverse that shit. Like it's so good that any negative would be overshadowed. Does that make sense? Four of Cups, it kind of like making sure you don't miss the opportunity, but I don't think you can. I feel like this is just more that you're sitting and waiting right now. You're waiting for that moment where the serendipitous event happens, where something comes your way that you can take. It's like taking advantage of. It's talking about opening your eyes to the possibility. Let's talk about that. Why the choice of Four of Cups? Again, it is the energy of confidently accepting it, right? That proverbial cup that comes from the sky. We talk specifically about if this is happening this weekend. Lovers in the Wheel. taking this opportunity has some direct connection to some future relationship or love opportunity. Lovers is about carefully weighing your decisions, but it is very much about intimate relationships and a time of positive change, situations moving forward, things going on in your direction, in your favor. Can you draw a better connection between whatever is being, you're going to get, I've seen this and I don't like to be that one, but it's almost giving. Like, and this is not something spirits tell me, but I'm looking at these cards and I'm like, you mean, like, you know how like sometimes we've heard that trope where like somebody offers you something, but there's ulterior motives behind it, kind of thing. Like something is, although we do have the Three of Pentacles, there's like a third energy. So maybe this acts as the third energy to connect you with somebody, but something tangible, career or creativity wise, that you receive some kind of offer for is going to be like the bridge to finding love. So I can't get past that. Okay. It is that trope where like somebody, like you come across somebody and just so that you can get close to talk to them, you kind of like hire them for something. As simple as like, or don't even hire, like, let's say you need tangible help in your 3D reality and you come across somebody and you're like, you know what, I have to replace um, some kind of something on my refrigerator and I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, oh, and you know that somehow they have like handyman kind of skills and you're like, could you maybe help me? Like, it's the Three of Pentacles energy. Like, could you maybe help me? And da da da. Um, It is the energy of somebody that tends to do something on their own, Nine of Pentacles, but, like, coming together to do that with somebody else, you know? So it's that collaborative energy, but it feels like behind this is like it's gonna go a direction beyond what is communicated or offered. It is giving, there's a potential that this situation is like there are ulterior motives to why somebody wants to offer something to you, or this is something that's just going to be like your means on a path. And so they're like, say yes. And you're not really going to debate this because you are in, you just know this to be true. You know, you're like, it's going to happen. I know spirit's going to get me there. And so when you get prompted like this, you're like, okay, like there's just this trust because you feel so beyond a shadow of doubt, you know the truth. You're not wavering on it. That's why spirit can put this before you. That's why I feel like maybe somebody's been waiting for some kind of serendipitous events to happen, and it's like that's why they can fall in line now because if what is the thing? Like, if they put some shit before you and you're like, "Oh, is it? I don't know. I don't know." They're showing me Big Bang Theory when Sheldon gets the call about winning the Nobel Prize with his wife and or whatever prize it is that they do, whatever award. And he's like, "Oh," and they're like, "Oh my god, this feels it's not real. What if I'm dreaming?" And he's like, "Oh, what if I'm not?" And it's kind of like and then he gets slapped. Um, there's no room for doubt. Like, you wouldn't reach that point of, "Is this even really like, you know it. It's like you came to spirit and said, "Okay, like, I know this is happening. I'm listening. Show me." And you're just you don't even know to the full degree what you're saying yes to. That's sticking your neck out there. And so you look at everything as a potential serendipitous event, like something that leads you somewhere. That unwavering faith and commitment is what's going to get you through those gates of triumph, is going to get you to your destiny. That's what's secure in the bag. And in the process, you are protected. You are asked to enjoy uh, uh, this path, and things are going to start going in your favor. All you got to do is accept something. It starts this weekend. It feels like a series of events, but it starts this weekend. And can I just say, I keep going, is somebody about to ask him out on a date for Valentine's Day? It is not. It is not that. That's why they've kept a distance. They're like, we know Valentine's Day is this weekend. It has nothing to do with Valentine's Day or having a Valentine or going on a date this weekend. It has nothing to do with that. So if you're like, ooh, do I get to? No, that's not what they're talking about. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, Devil. You were absolutely stuck in some kind of rut. You could not move forward until you got to that place, this level of trust. And that trust only came from because you settled on what the truth was. You don't view it as a fantasy or an imagination or a daydream. You view it as the truth, and nobody can convince you otherwise. Because five of Pentacles, 5 of Cups is just like a elongated state of deprivation and disappointment. Because that elongated state, like you were stuck in it, Devil card. Okay. I guess that's why we have the Wheel of Fortune. They said a series of unfortunate events. You were stuck in a series of unfortunate events. Now you're embarking on a series of serendipitous events. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. He's putting out his hand as if like an invitation. Like they're showing me Bridgerton again. You know where what's his name? Colin is like, Miss Featherington, are you going to marry me or not? You're like, he's like extending, like, come on, kind of thing, right? But it's that there's an invitation there. There's also a message. So it feels like communication of some sort with like an invitation to something, being invited into something. Okay. Again, they're like, not Valentine's Day. Somebody must really be like, I want to go out, you know, like, or want somebody to ask them for, I don't know. 6 of Cups. There's like a contract here. You are meant to encounter somebody that you have a soul level contract with. Something about being okay, hold on. They want me to stop. Um, this prolonged state of deprivation and disappointment had you like in a place, had you a chokehold on you at some point. We have the 3 of swords, which the okay, here's the thing. The reason that was a prolonged state is because you were not connected to somebody. Because this is just a separation card with no real way of knowing how to connect with somebody. And the idea is that it's because you doubted so much and because you felt like you were just too wishful thinking and you would logicize what you knew to be true etherically, I guess, or like, it wasn't reality yet. So you allowed reality to tell you otherwise, and to dictate what the truth was. And it kept you in a prolonged state. There's something connected to the prolonged state of deprivation and lack that is connected to the separation with this person. Almost as if like certain things were meant to be addressed, or there's something connected to um success, like success in your life is connected to this coming together, this team player, this merging of individuals. We have the chariot with the knight of pentacles. Again, you may have been trying really hard to do it all on your own, be successful on your own. Nine of pentacles does kind of like give the energy of like you've come as far as you can on your own, like the amount of success that you can do by yourself you have achieved, because then comes the 10 of pentacles, right? um like the idea of elevation to where, again, and we're talking about like some feeling like some destined path, like an elevation to where you feel like you're meant to go, that you can see in your mind, does require a coming together of two people. That again is also part of the key to doors being unlocked. So you couldn't come together with somebody if you were still feeling like it was a pie in the sky kind of idolized fantasy, and you kept weeble wobbling back between desire of that and believing that what you saw in your reality was actually the truth and denying it. Like you kept calling it into question, not trusting it, feeling, but like there's something very solid and secure in how you feel about this. And you're like, no, I know it. I know I'm going to find a particular person, or I know that I'm supposed to come into connection, and I know I'm supposed to, this path that I'm trying to work on, I'm supposed to be further or do more with it. um there's something about the success of what you're doing on your own, the level of a success that you're supposed to have with something that you're doing on your own only comes from coming into connection with somebody else. The pinnacle, you're only going to reach the pinnacle of something within the connection that you have with somebody else. Okie dokie. Okay, let's bring us back grounded into just this weekend. Nine of Swords. There's a little anxiety around this. Hierophant. It is a commitment. That is a bit of a commitment. I also want to say I feel like there are certain fears, maybe okay. So there's fears around having so much tied up into this kind of a commitment. Like that's a lot riding on this. And it might feel overwhelming. Like like I don't want certain things tied to a relationship, or there's just fears around a commitment. Like there's all these roots underground. It's like this has been brewing and it is about to break ground and it is going to grow. This is the start of something. What are the anxieties exactly? Ten of Pentacles, the longevity, the immensity, the what this means, what it grows into. Um, this is a very major commitment. You may question if this is something that's going to be around long term. You may have fears about that. Can it stand the test of time? Can it? Okay. Fears surrounding what the future will hold. Because we're going from the ace to the 10. Like what that entire what that would entail and what that would require. Not clear on the anxieties. Queen of Cups, King of Cups. I think it's just the fear of where you thought it would never happen or it wasn't possible. That something could go from some kind of beginning and actually last the test of time. Last, like leave a legacy behind. This is like lifelong partnership, and that came into question. A lifelong partnership. Okay. 10 of Swords. 7 of Swords. Lies and deception. Illusions. 10 of Swords. Who is this? Because this may have been you before. Because this ain't you now. You might be worried that you'll fail at this because I just heard, I've never had that. I don't even know what that's like. I don't even know if I can do that. What if I'm not able to do that? Again, something that you believe is for you, but you're calling into question your capacity to do that. Not that you would intentionally sabotage something, but that if presented with something like this, it's like I don't even know what real love is. I've never been in a long-term relationship. What does that even look like? What does that even take? What does that have to do with this weekend, though? Could you please be more specific? We want to bring it back to this weekend. Other than something pops off, but but I feel like sometimes you can get lost in the sauce if you play in it for too long. Like you think too much in the future. It's kind of like keep rooted in just knowing it's true and move along. Queen of Wands, Two of Cups, Three of Wands. It's coming. Queen of Wands. All you have to do is wait for it to arrive to you. It's coming. There isn't anything that you have to do. You are attracting this in without having to focus on it. We know that. It's like the only thing that anybody is kind of like perplexed about is the idea of a lifelong partnership. Like something coming in and being that for the remainder of your life. Because we're talking about Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. That is, I'm at grandparent level. I have children, grandchildren, da 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 da. I reach the pinnacle, and I'm kind of like, from somebody where things always end up in worst case scenario and splitting. See, he's splitting off. This is the Ten of Swords. See them splitting, and so it's kind of like you've never had something last the test of time. You might be up in your head about that. Okay. They just want you to stay in your power, in your glory, in your confidence, and let it just naturally come together. I don't think you're going to take yourself. I don't think there's a fear around commitment. I don't think there's a fear. It's just a thought that comes through your head. You're like, yes, I know this is for me. But once in a while, you just have this thought like, I don't even know what that's like. Okay. All right. Ace of Swords. Your path is cleared for this. What's the communication going to be? So they receive this. Eight of Cups. It might just be information. It feels like communicate because there's an offer. Eight of Cups. Whatever it is, whatever comes in, it's the moment you realize you have started to move. Eight of Cups to the Clown, which is the Fool. It's the leap of faith. Something this weekend marks you actually doing something in your reality to move away from something and towards something. Period, point blank. We're going to leave it there because God Almighty, I do not want to get in the energy of, is it even really possible? We're not going to entertain that. You know what the truth is. It is possible. And I know that it seems overwhelming because you're like, but I've never had that. I don't even know what that's like. You're about to find out. So we're just going to leave it there because I feel like anything else will just bring in extra things to muddle. And I like how pristine your faith, commitment, and knowing of what the truth is. So we're not going to taint that. Okay. All right. Hope this message finds whoever it's meant for. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. And like I said, I'll be working on that one message for the things that they keep showing me that are going to be transpiring. So hope everybody has a fantastic, wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next reading.